and uh, I I basically stopped playing around the time that like Graham stopped playing, and then I like didn't really practice or anything or watch Melee or play Melee. Like I played like I got on ranked and like did that when it first came out, but
Yeah.
I didn't really I haven't like been trying to improve at anything probably since last year, like
Hmm.
in when we last talked. Coming back to it, I feel like I spent a lot of time skateboarding for the past several months,
Oh,
and
nice.
um, it's nice not to like look at a screen. I think my goals with the game though are like coming back to it now are like uh, I want to just like I feel like with I want to like improve it the game. Uh, like I thought like the smart goal that I made for myself was like, oh, maybe I'll try and get to like um, plat on ranked or like
Hmm.
some arbitrary like I don't really think I care very much about the ranking, so I don't even know why I made that. I feel like it's just something to work towards, but
Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to pick something, even though you might
yeah,
not necessarily care about it.
like the main thing I want to do is just like improve at like concrete situations in the game, like edge guarding or like punishes, things that are like very like I can look at the game and say like okay, like I didn't do that before, and I'm like I didn't edge guard uh you know Falcon when he's above stage with like X resources, and
Hmm.
I like now I have a plan for that, and I'm
Yeah.
like doing it. Like I just want to like um in doing I don't know, but after having done like a lot of skateboarding stuff, like you're not like fighting anyone when you're on the skateboard. You're just kind
Yeah.
of like doing shit yourself, and I think that's like a much uh it's easier to see improvement in terms of like can only like really come from yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think coming back to it though, I think towards the end of Melee, I was really distracted, and there were like I feel like I was trying to like do too many things at once, like
Hmm.
too many characters, too many matchups, too many like techniques, and I like spread myself too thin and like didn't really accomplish very much.
Yeah.
So my goal in coming back is just to like be really specific, to work on like one thing at a time, and to actually demonstrate results for myself in those areas before like moving on to something else.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's my goal with coming back is like I think I can I I want to yeah, get better at stuff that I can see, um and try and the reason I want to do lessons is cuz like every time I come back to the game after not playing for a while, I'm always like, "Oh, fuck, like where do I start? Like what like
Yeah.
what's right in front of me?"
I
So,
definitely get that.
yeah. I think also I realized after like taking a break that like yeah, I don't really some people are really motivated by like the rankings and like um like the winning tournaments or whatever. I feel
Hmm.
like I enjoy like winning obviously, but I think my main motivation is just to like beat up my friends. So like I think I like for the entire time I was improving since I graduated college, I was very half-assed about like maybe I'll get like top 8 in New York and that'd be something cool to work towards.
Hmm.
But I don't really fucking care about like any of the people in New York.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I just like I think I came to terms with the fact that like the rankings and the tournaments like don't really matter that much to me at the moment, and I would like to just maybe like get better at ranked or online or but mostly just like those are all just means to an end to like because I enjoy improving, and that's like why I think the game is fun.
Yeah. I think
So that's where I'm at.
okay. Yeah, no, I think all that makes sense, and I mean, I definitely resonate with a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. Like, since I came back, I guess, quote unquote, came back to playing, I've been like, man, even though I like feel like I like melee and want to improve, I don't think I care that much about rankings or tournaments and all that. And I think that like it's pretty important to realize that. And I think taking improvement for what it is just probably gonna be your best bet and be pretty fulfilling regardless. So I think that's like a good way to go about it. And I think with like being specific and just kind of like picking things that are, what's it called? Like
Measurable.
yeah, like it's pretty clear that, oh, I'm getting better at this thing, or I'm maybe doing X thing in X way. It's like a super good way to measure like actual improvement, and also like have something that like feels like you're feels like a motivator. Because I think it's really hard to play melee. Because there will be a point where you play melee and you like will work on X thing, and it just like you won't even like feel it. But technically, it'll maybe be, you know, impactful, but it's not like you. It's really really hard to tell. I mean, things like even something as maybe important as just like understanding advantage state or something. It's like that's super fundamental to the game, but it's really really hard to like actually see how it plays out.
Like internalize.
Yeah, it's like okay, I like understand that I'm playing it differently or better, or like it's going well, etc. And so it's hard to like be motivated by that kind of thing. And I think definitely like maxing out on like all the things you could do that are very very clear. It's like, oh, this punish string, or this edge guarding sequence, or this neutral sequence. All these
Or
things
just
that
like
are very
knowledge about stuff, I think is something I realized I don't like. I should know like the knockdown percents. I should know like the like, oh, Falco goes on to like Fox up there, you know, like, lands Falco onto like Yoshi's top plat at like 30%, or like I should just like, I think that's also another thing that was like fun about the game, was just like learning new things. That is like, it's like trivia or data. It's not necessarily like a punish that I like have to execute, but like it is just like there's a lot of data about the game and about like common interactions that I would also like to learn more about.
Makes sense. I definitely resonate with just being happy with gaining knowledge at something.
Yeah.
Even when I like quit, I would still like I was still engaged enough with the game where I was like, yep, I since like, you know, the year and a half has passed since I like I've been playing and I'm playing now again, I have learned a ton, and I mean I feel like that was reasonably fulfilling. So I definitely think, or I definitely understand just wanting to learn and gather as much knowledge as well as all the other things.
Yeah. And that was another thing about skateboarding too, is like skateboarding is so, it is like very difficult, but like it is a lot easier to focus on like one thing at a time, even if like there's one like problem in front of you at a given time. If you are like focusing on tricks, like if I'm trying to learn how to like heel flip, then sure, there's like a million things that can go wrong, but it's all contained within this like one problem statement of like flip the board around and do it. Like you're just doing the execution. Whereas in melee, I feel like I don't have as much like it is like a relationship with someone else that like defines what you're doing in the game. So it's like very easy to get like, and there's like so many more factors, right? Like there's a different character, there's like someone that you're fighting against, whatever. So I think my goal in coming back is like I would like to try and reduce the game to be a little simpler for me to like think about in terms of, you know, just picking stuff that is cool to me that I can work on in like bite-sized chunks, as opposed to seeing it as this big monolithic challenge.
I think it's really good. I think it's super hard with melee, just because obviously any thing where you have to fight against another person, it's hard to like, you know, have it just be like, I'm gonna practice this thing and it'll go the way I like it and it'll be cool because you have another person that's like essentially trying to stop you from doing that. But I think if you could like get good at like kind of compartmentalizing things, it'll like you'll be able to get the, you know, similar dopamine to working on something that's like solo, where it's like, oh, I'm doing the thing nice, and you can kind of like ignore whatever annoying thing or maybe thing that might come from like there being another person on the screen. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see, do you have a match that you want to watch, or is there more things you want to talk about?
No, that's it. I'll send you. So I just played unranked, or I was playing like a ranked match before this. I'll send it in the DMs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I played this game and I was like, man, like I feel stupid. like I I I haven't actually watched these yet because I just played them, but I did a lot of like chasing the other character around the screen when it was um and then like thinking to myself like why am I doing this, and then like losing the game because I just like stopped paying attention to what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do you feel like part of that is related to the fact that you haven't like obviously since you spent time not playing, there's going to be like lapses kind of in like your understanding
Yeah,
compared to before. Do you feel
I
like
think
that's
so, yeah, because like um it definitely I don't feel like technically I've degraded that much. Like I can't ledge dash as consistently as I was doing before, but like that'll just take some time.
yeah.
And like I also yeah, I feel like I'm getting distracted by like very unimportant stimulus. Like and I'm having a hard time like tracking like what the important thing is to focus on.
That makes sense. I think that definitely happens when you stop playing Melee because it's like you play Melee and it's like once you like play it for an extended period of time and you're used to it, there's so many things that you like zone out or just ignore, and it's like when you come back, there's so much like information,
Yeah, I also like didn't like I know one of the last things we talked about was like doing relevant approaches, and I just like didn't fucking do that at all this game. Like I would just like I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna like short hop nair, not look at percent, and like because I know like looking back at this game, I should have been more wary of percent and like done like shine or drill or grab at low percents or like full hopped and waited for opportunities more and not just like short hop nair because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's hard when you like are forgetting things and trying to relearn. It's so difficult to like be able to like first off accurately assess situations and then do something that like feels like it makes sense. I mean, I definitely know when I first started playing again, I was just like, I don't even. The game is not functioning the way I thought it would. What happened? And I think we could talk about just like what situations are important and kind of like reignite, the Melee intuition and be like, oh, I kind of get why this situation is important, and then you'll be able to connect the dots with other situations, and it'll work out.
I think one thing I want to focus on is like, what do I do when I'm in center?
It's man, that's a hard question, but we could definitely talk about that. Center is such a difficult position to play.
I was just contemplating life as I sat in center stage and was like, what should I do? I don't really know.
Yeah, I feel like center is like a very good example of like stimulus overload. It's like option overload. It's like I could do so many things. What is the right thing to do?
Yeah, that's how it felt today.
Yeah, and I feel like generally, without any information being known, all I really can say about center is I think that your goal when you're in center stage is probably to stop the other person from getting the center stage for free. But if you feel like you can't do that, center stage, you have enough space to like safely play it out if you can.
Yeah.
And so I think just from that general guideline, we can kind of work from it. But, there's obviously sometimes you want to go into the corner. Sometimes you feel like you need to go to the top platform. Sometimes you are going to dash all the way back. And sometimes you're going to stand still. And, like, all those things are valid. But I think generally your goal is to, stop them from taking it from you. And then if they do take it from you, it's pretty fine because they're not going to, like, hit you from corner to corner,
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in the stream?
Yes, I'm looking at it. I didn't know which character I was, that's why I jumped.
I know, yeah, that happens. I definitely understand. Damn, he read you. Oh, yeah. Definitely the classic. I haven't played Melee in a while. Yeah. Randomly mess up. What is happening? Random position. Yeah. Nice. I think doing like a fade back aerial like you did here is good, but I think using drill would be better just because it's a 0% Fox, and so it's like Nair would be awkward. Obviously, Nair at this percent, there's like a weird thing where like you can't actually CC it because I think if the knockback is too low, you like don't. it doesn't like do the CC thing, so you go to weird animation. So like Nair Shine would actually work.
The Sakurai angle?
Yeah, Sakurai angle, but drill obviously just kind of works better.
Yeah, I agree. It's more relevant.
Yeah. Also like your idea to like realize that the Nair wouldn't hit and then try and do like a delay shine. Yeah. But I think that it just wasn't necessarily executed correctly. So I think like in this spot what you could do instead is like when you realize something weird happens, I think using shield is a really good way to just like be safe. Because the only way that they're gonna hit you for shielding is grabbing. And if they didn't like grab the Nair, they're probably not gonna like do a delayed grab, right?
Right.
And so it gives you some opportunity to be like, oh, I'm going to shield. And then if you're shielding, what could happen is they do this running shine drill on your shield, and maybe you shine on to shield them, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, these kind of positions end up being really important in the Ditto, where you whiff in front of your opponent because maybe you want to stop them from running in, and then you have to play out the next situation well. And so shielding is really, really good because it only loses to grab. Dashing back is pretty good because it's hard to, like, catch Fox dash back.
Yeah. And he's at a distance where like it's not reactable, so
yeah,
I have to pick something.
Yeah, I think picking something is definitely good.
And shield covers like a lot of options. Yeah.
Yeah, shield dash back. Honestly, I mean, something you could do that's also relevant is like hit this or miss this snare and then just do running shine forward. Because it's like he's going to be dash dancing if he wants to like hit you for like doing like Nair turn on dub tilt or even Nair shield, right? If he wants to play around that, he's gonna have to delay his dash dance. So you doing Nair and then just running forward and running shining is a really good way to interact with that, right?
Right.
Wow, he didn't grab it. I think it was good that you went to the platform.
Yeah. That dare didn't make any sense.
I don't know. I think it like kind of made sense because you're like you jump. I think the issue is that like you double jumped. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to double jump.
That makes sense. And so once you were drilling, it's like you're just trying to protect yourself, and so it's like I totally get that. I think it ended up not being that good because I think you got whiff punished for it. But yeah. I feel like honestly, this guy's going pretty fast, and you're getting pretty overwhelmed. And I don't think you're like playing these situations out like. It's not like you're not paying attention. You're just taking too much time to like realize. Because like here, after you shield drop, you could have been dashing or shielding or like doing something, right? But you spend a lot of time like standing still. And I think that also could be attributed to the fact that you haven't like been playing recently, where it's like you forget that
the timing.
Yeah, you forget the timing, and you like don't know exactly what you're looking at, and so you take a bit more time to look. And so instead of like you shield dropping, being like, oh, I can already see him full hopping, and then dashing forward, you're like shield dropping and like, wait, what happens in this situation? I don't know what I should do. Yeah, and so you end up getting hit.
I don't think I hit any ledge dashes.
Happens to the best of us.
Gotta practice.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, good up air attempt. When you do this like foxtrot, you have to like actually get like the furthest length one, so you can because when you get the further you dash, essentially the easier it makes it to cover this option, and the easier it makes it to cover like tech in. So you do the dash to re-tech roll, so you could react, right? And then if the closer you are to hit this, the easier it is to like do this. Like you could do like a second dash upper or just full hop upper to hit it. And then once you see that they tech in, it's the further you are from the tech in, the easier it is to like hit the up air. Because if you're like right here, you do dash back up air, you go past them. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Yeah, and so you want to like make sure this dash is as far like towards tech away as possible, so it's easier to cover everything.
Could I have made it there?
Yeah, I think if you let your stick hang for a little bit longer, then you can.
I think I also acted really slow out of the up throw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know about how like when you do like these dash inputs, you could like there's different lengths you go out of foxtrots depending on how fast.
I've seen. Yeah, like how long you like hold the stick forward. It's like 20 something frames or something.
Yeah. So if you could hold it a little bit longer, you get further, and so you're actually close enough to like hit this up air with this the first hitbox,
Yeah.
so you could actually, because you see how he's still in lag, right, and your up air's out, and so it's like that's what you're trying to get, you know?
Yeah, I can practice that.
Yeah. Nice.
That was a missed input. I meant to up throw.
Yeah, I understand. All these tech skill mess ups, it's like, you have not been playing. I'm not going to be like, should have up thrown. Everyone knew you should have up thrown there, right?
Yeah.
It's not much to talk about. Nice. Oh, falling up air here.
Oh, falling up air?
Yeah. Instead of bearing. Because if you get a falling up air, you could like maybe get like, they DI to the left, you get like an up air bear. And maybe they DI to the right, you get like maybe an up air or something, you know?
So just at this percent?
Yeah. At this percent, I think falling up air is better than bear. I don't think you want to start using up throw bear until they're around like 80, 90.
Okay.
Like pretty high. I also think if you want to read like tech rolls at this percent, you could waveland and then do like waveland grab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, good CC. Ooh, bad dash tech though. I feel like it's pretty important to realize that in Melee, a super important thing to know is that like, if you have to dash away to avoid a move, that probably means you can't whiff punish it.
Oh.
Does that like make sense intuitively? Where it's like, if you have to do something to avoid it, that probably means you can't interact with it aggressively.
Unless it's just like extremely laggy.
Yeah, unless it's like a more forward smash, right? But this is Fox trailing, you know?
Yeah, so if it's like a quick move like that, then yeah, that he's just like action. I don't know, how much landing lag is it? 7?
Yeah, I think it's like 7.
So
But
it's just not enough time.
Yeah, it's like, since you have to spend time moving out of the way, you don't have the time to actually hit it, right?
Right.
A big thing, or a way that like other people define it that I think is good, is that like with moves like forward tilt or Fox short hop or like, I don't know, or Sheik forward tilt or Fox short hop or like even like Marth up tilt is, or Marth short hop is like, you have to already be running towards them as they do it if you want to whiff punish it. You can't be dashing back as they're doing it, you know? And it's pretty clear here because it's like you have to dash back because you want to avoid, you know, different drifts of the drill. But once you decide to dash back, you can't play it as if you get to hit him. You have to play a different mix-up.
Or I have to just be standing like right outside the range and he just like lands right in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're either standing still outside the range and when you get to whiff punish it, or already dashing towards him when you're not.
From like a wave dash back or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
This spot dodge I think is pretty bad. Mainly because it's like, if he didn't grab you immediately after the dash attack, he's probably not going to do a delayed grab, right? And so, again, it's the thing about shield where it's like, shield's really hard to interact with. And so you could make him grab you. Because if you do any button that isn't shield, it beats him trying to grab, right? And him getting drilled at this percent, or getting, you know, up smash or something isn't very good for him.
Right. That was not.
Yeah, I feel like you're like, oh, I know he's like kind of close to me, but it's the thing where I think in this spot you kind of lacked foresight, where it's like, yeah, he's whiffing this drill right in front of you where down tilt would hit, but you're not going to be out of lag fast enough to do anything about it, and so you have to like understand that like, or perceive that like in the future it'll probably be a different situation, so you choose to play it differently. So like shielding or running forward and running shining, or like even going back to the ledge or whatever, are all like valid things, you know?
Sure.
Nice. Damn. Get demolished. Nice. Ooh, I think here it's pretty important to like when you see him double jump here, to like decide to like either crouch way earlier or like wave dash down. You just need to make sure that you're like, you don't want to be in this spot, because what happens is, oh, he's bearing, you're CCing, look how far you get pushed back, oh, your shine misses, oh man, you know, it's like
So I have enough time to react to double jump there.
Yeah, we could start counting the frames and then see where he's at. So I'm gonna start counting from the circle.
Yeah,
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And you see that you're all the way back here.
Yeah,
and we could go up to 20. 1, 2, like 5, 6. Even wave dashing down right here.
Yeah, I had a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's a hard reaction, even still. Like, you have a lot of time, but there's a lot of things you're looking for, too. Because you could land, and you might have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But, like, you could definitely, like, realize it and change your decision, whether it's to, like, even shield, just so you don't, like, have to deal with an awkward position, or wave dash down, or wave dash back, or something. And it's really important, because look what happens. You get bared, you get pushed really far, you're shining, you're full hopping, it's an awkward position, and now you're, like, getting bared, because the first situation went wrong, you know?
Yeah. So like when Fox is double jumping, I should probably just wait for him to land before like making an action.
Yeah, I think that if you're far away and you see that the Fox double jumps, you should probably change your decision to like interact more favorably with his landing timing. You don't want to interact with it directly.
I shouldn't be like right under him, or I should not move like right under him if he's like double jumping.
Yeah, I think you should be outside of his range if you can. Obviously, you can't always, but that's kind of the goal. Because no one wants to like be under a Fox. What if you get drilled? Oh, right. Bear pushes too far. Oh, you know, there's so many awkward things that end up happening. And if you like did wave dash down on reaction, you could be like, oh fuck it, wave dash
and, like,
down.
Whiff punish.
Yeah, you get to like run up smash it or something, and up smash at 0%, probably pretty good. You get a tech chase, or you get to grab it or something. You know, you just get like a more favorable mix up. Oh,
that was a very not edge guard.
Yeah, I think if you didn't shine here, this actually ends up being fine.
I could have up tilted even.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the full hop's honestly not bad, because you do this full hop because you're like you full hop, and then if they do like an up B or something, or maybe a delayed side B, you get to fall to land, and then if they do this early one, you get to react. But since you shined, look at how you like spend time in shine, and then you like don't have good fast fall tech skill, and then you also don't empty land, and so you don't get to punish the side B.
Right.
Because what makes the situation work is that when you react, you get to go as fast as possible, falling and empty landing, and then grabbing, and then you get to punish the side B. But only when all those things, like all those qualities, are met.
Right. I see.
Yeah. Because now you're frame neutral instead of being frame positive.
Disaster.
Uh-oh.
No ledge dash. I think I attacked from like way too far away there.
Yeah, I feel like you did a really big dash back, and it put you super far.
Like, there was no reason to dash back after that roll.
I agree. I feel like you're pretty safe. And then, even once you do the dash back, you have to realize... I think you, like, solidly full hopped, and you're like, oh, he's full hopping. But again, look at how far back you are when he was full hopping. And you have to take that into account, too. And, I mean, even your percent is something. There's something to be said about your percent, too, where it's like...
Yeah, I'm just going to run in at 1 point.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm at this high of a percent, I'm shielding a ton, I'm drilling, I'm, like, running away and, like, trying to get, like, scraps, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that grab was pretty bad. I think running shining there made sense. I like that you drifted back and then started dash dancing. But, again, it's kind of the last thing we talked about, where it's like, you did the wave dash to avoid the drill, you know?
Right.
So you can't really get to punish it. It's also different because wave dash is, like, slower than, like, dashing back, but it still stands.
Also, if I was, like, just also staying still after that wave dash, I could have punished the drill.
Yeah, you definitely would have been outside of the range. You could have run up, grabbed.
I should have just been, like, I guess... confident in the spacing and just, like, stayed there, because that's a free punish if I would have just stayed in place.
Yeah, but I think the intentions behind the drill also, like, change why you would have done it. Because I think you might have done the wave dash back, not because you were, you know, trying to bait out, like, him being aggressive, but because you realized you got too close, and maybe you're uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think in spots like these, it's also pretty important to determine what your intentions are behind the thing you do, because it changes. Because if you were thinking, oh, I'm going to bait him, then yeah, it makes sense why you would stand still and try and whiff punish him, right? But if you like didn't know that he was gonna attack forward and you just felt like you're too close and it was uncomfortable, then it makes a lot of sense for you to dash back. It's I think maybe it's an issue of matching your intention, matching your intention to the action, right? Or vice versa, matching the action to your intention.
I also only did get up attack.
Oh,
this was tragic.
I know, yeah. When you do this shine, you have to drop with away so you could actually drift back, but you dropped with down, so you like didn't have any time to drift. Yeah, no, that is very unfortunate.
Very avoidable.
I agree. Nice. Man, sucks.
That was supposed to be a nair.
Yeah, I think nair would have been fine there. You could also grab.
Oh, grab his.
Yeah, you could just grab a roll. Yeah. That up smash wasn't that great. I feel like when I'm at 0% and the fox is at like 50, I'm like, if you get hit by like something, maybe you get grabbed or up smashed here, you could lose your stock. And so I'm like trying to zone with bear, nair, do things that are hard for fox to interact with, you know? I think up smashing ends up being a bit too greedy, and you probably get punished pretty hard for it. And it's like, well, I don't think you need to like lose your stock here.
Yeah.
Nice, good running shine. Oh, I wish you didn't double shine. I feel like you've been running shining and being like, oh, I'm not sure if it's gonna hit, so I'm gonna double shine. But like, you know, you have to like, if I think it's better to like do shine wave dash down if you're unsure if it's gonna hit.
Sure.
Double shine is good in some spots. I think sometimes it's like, oh, I think they're gonna shield, so I'm gonna double shine something.
Relevant here.
Yeah, it's like there's some times where the double shine will save you, but I feel like it's pretty specific. And here it's like you could have clearly told when running forward that he was dashing back too, and that like that's the thing that, oh, if he's dashing back, I could running shine and probably be safe, you know.
Yeah, the extra like 4%
1, 2,
doesn't
3,
really
4,
do
5,
anything.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's like, okay, I know he's dashing back, so I could running shine. And then you get to wave dash forward. And if you get to wave dash forward, maybe you get a running shine down tilt, or maybe you get like a running shine, you know, tech chase or something, right? And that's so much better than getting the second shine.
I've never tried that before, the down running shine down tilt.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's the same as doing like, you know, drill shine, wave dash down tilt. Yeah. And I think it's better with out of running shine because, you know, if they're getting drilled or something, they know they're getting hit by the shine, and so they're probably going to tech it. And so like it's less likely that the down tilt hits. But if you're running shining, they're like thinking of other things happening. You can't really react to the running shine and then like decide to tech. And so they miss the tech way more often, meaning you get to actually hit the down tilt, you know?
Right. That shine didn't make any sense.
I think it made sense because like you do the nair and you're like, fuck, I don't want to get hit, and you can't tell that he's jumping here, right?
Oh yeah.
And so you're like, I'm gonna shine to protect myself. Because I think there's a lot of the time when you whiff his fox like this, the only thing you can do is just shine to protect yourself. It's like, fuck, he's really close. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna shine and like try and defend. And then you get to realize that he's doing that drill by this point and be like, okay, I'm gonna full hop and then maybe drift back. Or double jumping was also good, but I wish you like double jumping with the top platform instead of, I think, trying to waveland the side plat or something. Yeah.
Grip movement.
Yeah, I definitely understand doing a big dash back because you like do the bear and you land and you're like, fuck, I'm in lag next to Fox. It feels bad. But like, honestly, you could do this bear. Center. Yeah, you could like do this bear and then just like dash back to right here and do another like short hop bear. And you're like probably fine. Because from his perspective, he's dash dancing in the corner at 67. If you just like nair, if you're like empty land nair, that's what he's worrying about. And so he's trying not to get hit by that, you know? And so like you don't actually have to like worry that much about getting, you know, whiff punished directly. Because he just doesn't have like the assets to like do it comfortably, right? And so you could take advantage of that and just be like, oh well, I'll protect myself, maybe do a small dash back and like bear so I could still hold center. But then you do this big dash back, and he's like, oh, I get to like play neutral again. And so you see how he moves forward, and he tries to do an air or whatever. But like he sees that you dash back and tries to do something about it. But he doesn't really deserve that information. You have to make it work for it.
So moving forward, like if I'm in center and I whiff a move, it's important to like recognize that, like if they're still in the corner, that there's no reason to like move back.
I think if you whiff a move in center and they're in the corner, I think that like you're less at risk than you think. You have more like available escapes, and so you don't have to worry about dashing really far back.
Right.
Yeah. And so even up tilting or crouching, just crouching there would be really good, or shielding. All those things, all the normal options, I think are good. I think doing big dash back should be saved for when you're like closer and want to avoid it, but you're pretty far away. Well, that dash attack wasn't too great.
Yeah.
But like, you tried to whiff punish the side B, but you like.
It's way too slow.
Yeah, you like pretty clearly didn't have time, and so you could have played a different mix up, either by like
dash dancing in place.
Yep, I think dash dancing would have been good, or even like doing dash forward then full hopping.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be aggressive, I think are good.
Thunders doesn't work at that percent.
Yeah. I also think instead of shining, honestly,
I could have grabbed that. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if you did like walk forward grab, that's so much better than hitting a shine.
Yeah, at this percent. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. This dash attack wasn't too great too. I feel like this dash attack was like, oh, I whiffed this nair. I think he's going to be aggressive, so I'm going to dash attack him. But it's like, he's at 82. What if you just like do dash back bear?
Yeah, I feel like that also would have hit the strong hit if I wouldn't have dashed back.
Yeah, if you just like dash forward, you would have just like hit him. But that's a different mix-up, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's good that you recognize that you could have just dashed forward and dash attack to hit him, because this position's been happening a lot, where you whiff in front of him and he just keeps dash dancing there. And so I think it's a good observation, Matt. What if you just hit him? And you should do that sometimes. But I also think that given that you did dash back, the way you played it should have been a bit different,
Right.
That was a good nair. Oh no. This drill wasn't too great. I think you're like
also really high.
Yeah, I think it's because you saw him moving around platforms. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him, right? Yeah. It's like you saw him like doing this thing. You saw him like jump up, but it's like, again, it's kind of the thing about foresight where it's like your opponent isn't gonna just like be in the same spot that they were when you saw them. You have to like look ahead a bit, and so it's like, okay, if you look at this position, what we'd kind of want to do for like foresight is it's like, I know that he like could be on the platform, but like he also could be wave landing off the platform. So I'd probably want to do something that interacts decently with both of those. And so maybe instead of like being aggressive, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna roll back or wave dash back, so I can like be safe against him being here and be safe against him being here, right? Because those are the two most like likely alternatives.
Yeah, I guess I would never think to go into the corner.
Yeah, sometimes going into the corner is the safest thing.
Right.
Yeah. And this thing about foresight, it'll come up a lot, but there's just a lot of spots where, I mean, we could go back to like the side B spot where he side B and you tried to whiff punish it. You need a bit more foresight to know that you actually wouldn't have had time, and so you play the situation differently.
Yeah.
And I think realizing that like when you see these spots where you're just kind of whiffing at nothing, it's important to sit down and be like, okay, what did I want to happen, and what's like the difference between what I wanted and what actually happened, and then trying to think about like, oh, I didn't know that I didn't have enough time to hit him on reaction in this way,
Yeah.
I think you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest things of that match were, it was definitely in the center stage thing where you talked about, where it's like, when you were in center, I feel like you didn't play the like center situations too well. But I think it's a matter of like, when you see that they're like in the corner and you like do a thing in center, I think you should just be more confident in the fact that you have a good position. Is
Yeah.
like, if you have a good position, no one's gonna want to be hyper aggressive. You know, they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Damn, I don't want to get hit by this. This is, I don't want to like play aggressively in a bad position." And like taking advantage of that, I think will be valuable. There was the position we talked about with uh, there's the corner position we talked about where it's like you were at like 0 and he was at like knockdown percent. Or another one where you're at like 30ish. I think he was at like 70, and it's like when those positions come up and he's cornered and you have center, you could just like the way you play them should change a lot. Because if you get hit by like a grab or an up smash or something, that could be a stock swing, right? And so it's important for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna do things that are hard to interact with, like Bear and Nair, that he'd have to like read if he really wanted to get value from it, you know?
Hmm.
Um, there's a few spots we talked about, like where when you start running forward, you could probably be reacting a bit more, like specifically the double jump one, where it's like when Fox double jumps, if you're not like, you could always do something on reaction to seeing Fox double jump, just always, right? Maybe it's not like hitting him directly, but you could always change your decisions to be something slightly more accurate, you know? And so the one that we saw where you were dashing from further back and he was double jumping here, you could have seen that he double jumped and wave dashed down, you know, on reaction and been far enough back to be safe, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of these little like small reaction spots where I think you kind of misjudged, but knowing that there's spots where you could react differently, I think is honestly what's most important. There's also the one up air spot where I guess there's two. There's one where you up through them and they did
On
the foxtrot.
platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you did the foxtrot, and when you do foxtrots, you want to get as close to tech away as possible because it makes it easier to cover that, and it makes it easier to cover tech in. And then there's another time where he did no DI, and you up through him under the platform at around 40%, and you did bear.
The falling up air.
Yeah, and we want to do falling up air there. Falling up air is pretty much from like 30 to like 50. Falling up air is your best thing for tech in place. I mean, even up to like 60, it's your best thing for tech in place. But then once you get to higher percents and you want to cover tech rolls and stuff, wave landing is good.
Because it just pops them up nicely for like a bear or like
Yeah,
another
yeah,
up air.
yeah. You get like a bear if they DI over here. If they DI, you know, above a platform, you could do a second up air and maybe get like up air, up air. You know.
Got it.
Yeah. Does that all make sense, or do you have any like questions or anything?
Yeah. So in center, so like some things I could try when I'm in center are like perhaps just like literally don't do anything,
Yep.
or um like, but in particular, like the important thing is not to give up the space,
Yeah.
and to try and have a plan for like, okay, I'm gonna do this if he just like straight up runs in. I'm gonna, like, if he's on the platform, I'm gonna do this, like, and being confident in the fact that like I can, or at least should try to defend the space rather than just like whip something and give it up.
Yeah. I agree. I think the position you're in is good enough to where you don't have to worry about giving up space unless you truly, truly feel that they're gonna be hyper aggressive. Like some people
Right.
will, but you really don't have to. Like that's like a less common option. You know, instead of doing
Yeah.
like more actions in place, that's pretty hard to deal with. Or maybe being aggressive into the corner, that's hard to deal with. Obviously, the way you want to be aggressive into the corner is probably in like a safer manner. Like I wouldn't necessarily recommend dash attacking, but like doing something like maybe a nair. Nair is hard to interact with. Make them, you know, work for it. You know.
Yeah.
And
If
if you
you
really
nair into the
think,
corner, or go ahead.
no, you go, you go. Outline.
If you nair into the corner and do they have enough time to like jump on top on the side plat?
No.
Okay. So it's not reactable.
Yeah, they have to do it preemptively.
Okay.
Yep. But that's kind of where shield starts being good again, because if they read you being aggressive into the corner and you nair, you get reversaled, right? And
Yeah.
so that's also part of the risk reward to like be aware
If they
of
like
and stuff.
shine me at a shield.
Yep, they shine a shield and then they get like a tech chase or something, and you know that's not very good.
Right.
Um,
This one, is this the second? Yeah.
Yeah,
This
this is
one
the
went
second
pretty
one.
poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yeah, I
Same
think that shining's really
situation.
good. That drill's good. This one, you just have to practice reacting to mistech rolls with up air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Practice tech
That was
chasing.
the slowest. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. You could do double up tilt here. Like after the first one, you do a second one and then get like a combo. But then you could also tech chase and like grab, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's also probably something to practice, you know, tech chasing off up tilt or up tilting off up tilt.
Yeah.
You know?
That was such a slow grab.
Yeah. Forward throw is good.
That was also like, why did he side me there?
I don't
like,
know.
I turned around like so. I had so much time.
Yeah, but he wants to side B, so he's gonna side B. that's just how it is, you know. I think here's a spot where actually, I think instead of up airing, doing bear is better. So if what you could do is from this spot, you could reaction tech chase everything with bear. And so it's like if you neutral get ups, you could do dash forward rising bear. If he rolls to the left, dash forward rising bear. And if he rolls to the right, you could still do dash forward rising bear. Or you could probably change your decision to up air if you have like good enough tech skill. I think that one's probably hard though.
It seems like platform tech chasing in particular is something I should be working on though.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really hard, but I think it's definitely something you could get good at. Mm-hmm.
And would you just recommend like going into Uncle Punch and just like setting up like either up throwing or up tilting the fox there and then just reacting to like random tech options?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it. Just try and like have them go to the platform in ways that are like realistic, you know?
Sure. Like you up throw in center and they DI away.
Yeah. It's like have it be something realistic, you know? Maybe take it from a match, maybe just like something that you'd actually, or that you've like actually seen happen before. Because I think it's really easy to be like, yup, I'm practicing this combo sequence, but then you like look at it and it's like, well, wait, I've never even like seen this happen in an actual match, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that you would do that, but I think I think it's important to mention because I've definitely done it before, you know? It just happens sometimes. I think once you shield drop here, you didn't really have to dash, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like dashing made it where you had to run into the spare so you didn't go off stage. But if when you shield dropped, instead of dashing, you just like walked further into the corner.
Yeah.
Like you could drop here, walk to the edge. He does the spare. You could just turn around, grab if you really want to, or you could short hop bear. You could full hop over it. You could just avoid it, right? Because it just won't hit you. If you look at where it lands, you'd be right here, right? And so
I don't need to dash.
Yeah, and so taking advantage of the space is super big.
I could have just like dropped and turned around too.
Yep.
I think there's definitely a part of me that just thinks like I'm in the corner, I'm like going to lose.
Yeah, but you have to. It's about the spacing, right?
Right.
When you're in the corner and they could hit you unreactably, then you're like, oh fuck, you know. But if you look at the spacing, there's nothing he could have done to actually hit you in a way that's unreactable.
Right. I could have just dropped and turned around and it would have been fine.
Yep. Drop, turn around, drop, walk towards the edge, drop, and wait to shield. You're chilling, right?
Yeah.
Here's the double shine thing again.
Yeah, I think it's not a relevant option that I'm autopiloting that I should probably just do running shine wave dash down for instead.
Yeah, or even running shine full hop. Just don't need to double shine, you know.
There's no point.
Because what happens now, you have a double jump. If he's reacting well, he just like dash forward grab.
Yeah, I would die.
But he didn't react that well.
Platform tech chase.
Here's another spot where I think you did an action in center, and you're like, fuck, I have to give it the space. But if you just like, instead of going so far back, you do like a short hop here, or full hop, and you get to like bear this spot, right?
Yeah.
As long as you end up in like around this spot, you're fine.
Yeah.
And you don't need to like dash all the way back to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna either like full hop or like start trying to just like stay still in center.
Yeah, like up tilting, full hop, short hop bearing, dash. You could do a dash back and then do like a dash back in there. All that matters is the action you do is fast and ends up around the
center.
actual center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shield. I think after, let's see. I think we probably could have done, after hitting the snare, you could have done dash forward, full hop rising bear, and gotten a soft bear and probably combo off of it. Or you could have done
In the air.
Yeah, like you do nair, you hit him with the snare, and then you do dash forward, full hop rising bear, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Or you could stand here, let him fall, and then do dash attack to hit him right here.
Yeah.
Both are pretty good.
I think I just was, I didn't do the angle of the bear correctly, or I didn't do it fast.
Yeah, you have to do it like immediately.
Yeah, just nair bear.
Yep, nair, and then you see the idea I did? Just do dash bear instantly.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you're drifting forward too. You see how you like didn't get any like
I didn't keep moving.
Yeah. I feel like you put yourself in the corner here for no reason.
That tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, I think that if you probably want to deal with this in a way that's more like intuitive,
I could just stand in center and bear.
Yeah, I think you could just turn your back, and it's a lot in because you want to bear, and so you're like, I got to bear, but you have to like dash forward to actually make the bear hit if you're not turned around, you know. Yeah, I feel like you probably had something you could have done after the up tilt, whether it's like dashing back or, crouching. Just do something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to cover side B.
Did I have time to Armada Shine?
If you were standing still and you saw him up B, then yes, you could have dashed forward, full hopped out, and shined him. But otherwise, no. If you're if you're trying to react to side B too, or like cover side B, no, I don't think you could have. But
okay,
if you're willing to like stand there and wait for the up B, if he's this close, then yeah, you can dash, full hop, out, shine.
Okay, so, but covering, I guess, it also makes sense to cover side B, but this is also a good distance. It's hard to tell, I guess, but
yeah, I mean, I think covering side B here is more relevant because it's so likely that people are going to do shine, double jump, instant side B, and then you want to do like a short hop nair to cover it, and then like.
So you don't think I should have done the full hop one?
Yeah, no, I think you should do short hop there.
Okay. Short hop nair. Okay.
I also feel like if you want to like cover things more reactively, you should hit this bear and then do run off and like start shine stalling. Because something that you could do is if you're shine stalling here, you're falling.
You can double jump.
Yeah, you could do double jump bear on reaction to side B.
Okay.
And if you see that they up B, then you could play like a mix up after that where it's like you either read them, going to ledge or straight or high, right?
Right.
And so you could like, if you're in your shine stall and you see them up B, you could, double jump out of your shine stall and fall on ledge. And then, you could cover them going to ledge. Or maybe, you could hold your shine stall and then do like a rising bear that hits ledge and straight or something. Or like, if you want to cover high, you shine stall, jump on stage, and then you could do like a full hop high bear to cover high or whatever,
Right.
But that's like why I think doing a run off shine stall in this spot would have been really good, or shine stall, because you could react to everything and at least get to cover side B on reaction and have a mix up against up B,
That's a good edge guard.
Oh,
Rip.
Nice. You press a button? I guess you pressed a button.
Yeah, I think I just wasn't patient enough.
Yeah, I feel like. Yep, you jumped. There's just no reason. If you're light shielding, the point of light shielding is so you don't get hit by an aerial.
Right.
So it's like, why do a thing that gets hit by an aerial?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that grab was not good. This is something that's pretty important, but it's like, You can't
There's an
react to
aerial, yeah.
yeah, you can't react to Fox doing an aerial and grab it. Just ever. It's never
Yeah.
ever gonna be a thing that happens. You never are gonna see a Fox aerial and be like, oh, I get to grab it. It's just not
Yeah,
possible.
because like the grab itself takes at least 7 frames to come out, and the lag is 7 frames. So like by the time, assuming they are like moving at all, you know, like if they nair shine, I like if they aerial shine, I get hit. If they full hop, I'm not gonna hit. Yeah, there's just like no universe. Where
Yeah, it's like even in the
works.
best case scenario, Fox's short hop is 15 frames long if he's doing as fast as possible. So even if you see the first frame of drill and he lands from short hop, you have to you have exactly 7 frames essentially if your reaction time's 15 frames, you know?
Which is also hard, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like even in the the best case scenario, it is exactly possible. Literally frame perfect, meaning you'd probably be standing still grabbing there if you wanted to
Which
actually
means-
hit it.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, so it's like if that's the best case scenario, you seeing him do a random aerial off a platform is not something you can react to with grab. You can react to it, but you have to play the situation differently, right?
I agree.
And so I think like what could have been really good here is you see him run off the platform and drill, you could just start running forward and try and running shine, you know? Try and overshoot.
Assuming that he'll dash back.
Yep, assuming he'll dash back. And you see that he dash dance, if you're running shining, you'd hit him right here, you know?
Right, yeah.
And so like that's a good thing you could have done that I think made a lot of sense. You running shine, you get his dash back, or maybe him dash dancing and it goes well.
Yeah. This game did not go very well.
Yeah, I feel like jumping forward and then air dodging was not good.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were gonna jump forward, just like rock it out and like try and drift to ledge.
Okay.
But I don't even think jumping forward was necessarily that great. I think something you could have done instead is like shine stalling here, really good. Double jumping
and then
back.
snap the ledge. Oh.
I think you're too far to do shine stall. All right, you could like side beat a ledge out of the shine stall.
Yeah.
I don't think you're close enough to like shine stall double jump. You can do double jump back and then up be high, side be high, or double jump back and then fall, side be the ledge. I think those are all pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like you just double shine every time you're shining, and you feel like you're not sure exactly what's going to happen. But I think you could be a bit more specific about it. Because if you weren't double shining in this spot, it would be like you do this shine and then you wave dash, and then you like might actually get a combo, you know, instead of like being in this position where you're landing from a double shine at frame disadvantage, right?
Yeah. It's a pretty bunga bunga option.
Yeah. I think it's just like a good thing to see, to like learn from, is anytime when you hit your opponent but then end up in a bad spot, that should like set something off in your mind. You should be like, wait,
Yeah,
I
probably shouldn't do that.
I thought I was in a good position, and so then you should like think about it and be like, okay, well, what made this hit not good, and you know, try and work it out.
Yeah.
Nice wave dash back. You did the thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm chic. Again, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to. So would that have been a spot to do running shine down tilt, or is that just too far?
This one was just like you hit the shine out of out of a spot dodge, so you can't be running shining, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think you could have done wave shine down tilt. Wave shine down tilt would have been a lot better than doing wave shine jab, if you're gonna read miss tech, you know.
Right.
I see JC shine there. Insane. And I actually want to go back to the snare because I feel like there's so many times where you end up in center stage and he's on side platform and your first instinct isn't to turn your back. What I do here is instead of naring, I instantly turn my back and full hop. And it's just so much better than having this nair, you know? Bear is just so much
wait,
longer.
running like dash and like shine turnaround bear?
No, I mean, I just like, so you do this first snare, right? And you see that it hits. What I would be doing is I'd just be like, oh, I'm turning around. And I'd just turn around and full hop bear.
like after this first nair, or
Yeah,
like you wouldn't
after,
do the nair in the first
after the
place?
first
Oh,
nair.
okay.
Yeah, I'd see the first nair hit and be like, oh, look at this position. He got hit by my nair. It's a soft nair. He has to land on the platform. I will simply turn around and then play the position out from there, right?
Yeah.
I think you want to, like, when you end up in positions like this, where they're on side platform, or they're on the ground and you're in center stage, or they're somewhere near the corner, you want to make it your first instinct or goal to turn around. Fox is so much better at playing that spot out, back turned. And I think that it's not like you can't nair with your back turned, right? You just have to dash forward. And you're going to dash forward anyways, right? And so it's like, why not just turn your back?
Yeah.
I guess we're actually around hitting time, so I guess we could wrap up. But do you feel like we talked about things that like made sense and were like actionable? Because I know that we didn't do the most like, in this position you have to do X thing, but it's like, that's not like, as valuable as that may be, I feel like the most important part is like talking about what situations were important. And I think by going over them more conceptually, it lets you know that it's an important situation and also gives you the freedom to like decide what you want to do. Because I think that, you know, Melee is a game with mix-ups, and we see these situations, I can't just be like, do this. It's like, well, wait, if you don't know that it's like a mix-up that should function this way, I can't just tell you to do one thing. There's tons of things that could happen. And so I think I want to first kind of establish that like these are mix-ups, and then at some point, once I feel like you're thinking of the mix-up the right way or like approaching it the right way, then it could be like, okay, well, here's what you could have done to actually beat this specific option, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, the non-mix-up thing that's really important is like the platform tech chasing.
Yeah, like the combo stuff.
Yeah, and like that's something pretty concrete that I can start working on immediately, that I like have practiced a little bit before but haven't spent enough time on, obviously.
Yeah.
I've never done so like that, but the mix-ups, I guess, in center are the ones that I'm like really uncomfortable with. So I think just like the things that I mentioned I was going to try and do in center in the future, which are like stay still and try full hopping in center, or like, you know, up tilt, or like just like do something to make sure I like can react and still maintain the space.
Yeah.
Those are like two really concrete things that I can work on.
Nice.
And also the like shine stall, double jump bear, off stage for edge guarding.
Side B. I think that's really, really important. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely those things are all actionable. And I think the other stuff, honestly, is mostly like important for when you're watching more so than playing. Like, I want you to like, whenever you watch yourself play, to like be like, oh wait, this is that one spot. Oh, I guess I'll like try and figure something out about it, you know?
Right. Yeah, and like the other little stuff like falling up air at like mid percents on platforms.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff is also helpful, and I can work on that as well. But yeah, I definitely feel like I have some steps to move forward.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's good then. Do you have any other thoughts? Or?
Nope. I'm just gonna try. I think unranked, or excuse me, I think like ranked online is like a good spot for me to just like play, because I don't really want to enter tournaments or anything. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep doing that and trying to focus on these things when I play those games.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, have a good rest of your day / upcoming weekend. Good luck with
thanks
the
for your
Melee
time.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, talk to you later.
Cool. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.